Okay, I was talking to my new friend Naveen Uli today in Strongsville at this Deepavali celebration, and we were talking about the languages of India, and it's fascinating. Naveen, tell us about it.
Hello, I'm Naveen Uli. I'm from the South Indian state of Karnataka, where the official language is Kannada. And as telling Dan earlier, I think the perception might be that the Indian diaspora is a monolithic group, but linguistically we are extremely diverse. And I think the best illustration is just to show you a picture of the Indian currency. On the front of the Indian currency, the denomination is written in English and the national language of Hindi. On the reverse of it, there are 15 more languages, and these are just what are designated as official languages of the Union. And these languages have been are approved for interstate commerce and have official designation. But within each of these languages are multiple dialects, regional dialects. So, for example, in the language of Kannada that I speak, there are dialects that I don't understand. So diverse and so with very different words, word origins, word conjugations, and usages that sometimes are varied. Plus, some dialects retain the original South Indian origin of the language of Kannada. Some have a heavy influence of the language of Sanskrit. Plus, depending upon which part of the state they are in, their dialects of Kannada might have influences from the languages of neighboring states. So there's a lot of variability, and as I said earlier, there are dialects of Kannada that I cannot understand, so there is within each of these languages there is huge diversity. So you can just imagine the amount of diversity in just language alone in the entire nation of India. And each of these languages has different scripts that they use. About 5-6 of them here on the picture I showed you use the script of Devanagari, which is the original script that is used for Sanskrit. And of course Hindi is written the same script. But each of the other languages might have a different script. A couple of Indian languages have the Urdu, the Arabic script. So the language of Urdu has Arabic script. The language of Kashmiri has Persian script. So you can imagine just how difficult it is for us to communicate. So that's why the national language of Hindi and of course English unites us. So we typically use those two languages to communicate if you're from a different state than I am.
I was going to ask, because how would, with over 1 billion people in all those languages, how would you communicate? So Hindi
becomes the kind of a lingua franca.
Lingua franca, right?
Yeah, so that's...
And these are ancient languages.
Yes.
I know Sanskrit for how many thousands of years and others.
Exactly,
and they've evolved. So the different dialects. So at home, people might speak their dialect from their region, their village, but when they go to school,
the official, the literary language might be much more formal, whereas the spoken language at home might be more of a different dialect that has a lot of variability from the official language.
And are most of these languages still healthy, meaning that people are speaking them and the kids are learning it?
Absolutely. If you take the language of Hindi, it is spoken in multiple states in the northern half of India, but within that, if you travel 50 miles, each 50 miles there will be different dialect.
Wow.
With different tonations and different words, and the conjugations are going to be different. And so some people might not understand another person from a different part of the same state, although they might be technically speaking the same language, but the variation is so huge that there are distinct dialects, distinct languages actually.
Wow, I think that's unique in the world. I know there's a lot of Chinese and other dialects and all, and in Africa there's different, but not as many as India, I don't think.
It appears that there's a lot of diversity within the Indian subcontinent.
Well, it's great that the young people are still learning it and keeping those languages alive. I know that in Ireland they're trying to revitalize Gaelic because it almost disappeared, and there's some other languages like that. So it's great that just naturally these Indian languages, because they add so much to the culture. All right, Naveen, this is really interesting, and I'm going to look into it more. Thanks for sharing that today.
Thank you.
All right.